Welcome back to Diecast Resurrection's 3D Corner. I am your host, Andy. Today, we are going to be working on a suggestion from last week's comments by Modern Day Salvage. As soon as I seen that comment, I remembered we had a 1989 service truck missing a bucket, but we're going to do one better and make the entire boom arm replacement as well. This one is going to be crazy if it works. I'm going to be doing a print-in-place design on this model. This means the crane will be printed as one piece and the arms will still be able to break free and move on their own. Now, I've never done this before. I have printed something like this, like a chain guide from our other printer. But if it does work, it's going to open up a lot of possibilities. My thanks has to go out again to John for donating this truck. It's from the same vintage highway crew set as the snowplow from last video. Make sure to check that video out if you missed it. We are going to have to disassemble the truck to get at the crane. The post is already center punched for me. Thanks, Matchbox. Okay. So it gets sandwiched between the base and the top of the casting. Alright, easy enough. Now that we got the old crane, let's jump into Tinkercad, start building. Now this is just a quick test piece I made for the print in place function just to make sure it worked before I started designing the whole thing. Alright, we're going to skip by this boring stuff and get right to the print in place stuff. We got our main peg that's going to be attached to the boom arm itself. So what we're going to do is create a copy of it and then make it exactly 0.1 millimeter bigger. So that means on all sides it'll be 0.05 millimeters of clearance. It is just enough to almost print together but not quite, and then we'll be able to snap free. Alright, just make sure it's centered on the other peg and create hole. Alright, now if you zoom in and get the perfect angle, you can see just a little bit of space we're going to work with. And the same thing with the boom arm too, in between the supports that actually hold the boom. It's the same thing. I got 0.05 clearance on both sides where you could barely see the crack, but two good things about that. It'll provide enough friction, hopefully, to just hold the crane on its own, but still able to break free. Alright, in order to create this funky cutout angle, what I'm going to do is create the shape of it first, bigger than the actual piece, and then I'm going to use that as a cutout tool for another piece, and then use that to cut out the entire part of it. You'll see what I mean. And just like that, worked like a charm. Alright, so we've got our first boom arm up there. In order to model the second hinge, I want to actually get the second boom arm up there and in place. That way I know my spacing and everything. Alright, we have the main shape of our next hinge. Now we just gotta cut it out all nice and fancy like. Well, that's looking pretty good. Now before we attach this to the other boom arm, we're going to test out if it actually rotates and hits things. Yeah, see, after I rotated a few degrees, how we're hitting the side there, so I got to cut that out just a little bit. And second test. Alright, everything should work. Okay, we'll just add the little detailed piece that's on the original to the side here. Alright, the main crane's pretty much done. We're just going to create the little clasp that we can put the bucket into. Alright, that should work, and it's an exact replica of the original. And moving on to the bucket. So, I don't actually have one I can model after, so I'm just going to go off of pictures for this one, and hopefully everything kind of lines up. Alright, there's the main size I want. Now we need to create a lip at the top of the bucket, and I think we'll use a cube for that, and then we can round the corners. Alright, now we're just going to round the corners, and for that there's a tool in the advanced prims in Tinkercad that actually is like a half circle, and then you can move it in and out. Now before I actually round the corners here, I'm going to create a copy of the entire thing, and that's going to be our tool for hollowing the other one out. Alright, and yes, nice. Rounded corners. Looking good. Alright, we gotta do the same thing with the bottom to round the bottom out. Looking good too. Alright, add that to our other cutout tool. Alright, let's cut out the inside. Now it's just going to be the inside cutting out, and then the top I'm actually going to have a little bit different and straight up. So I have a different tool for that. And for this, we'll use a cube as well, and just round the edges. Alright, stamp it in there, and perfect. Now that's a good looking bucket. Alright, a little copy pasta and put it on the other side. There it is, the complete crane in all its glory. Alright, let's throw her in Cura and see what we can do. So what I want to do is have a print that's fully extended and angled. So hopefully the supports break off nicely that way. And we're going to have to block a lot of things out. So that's what I'm kind of doing here right now. Now when I say blocking, I mean blocking the supports from generating in this zone. So wherever you put this block tool in, where it's got like a red indicator on the bottom end, it won't print supports there. So it's good for getting around little things like areas right here were kind of bridges where you don't want supports being printed in there, then it'll just say no, no. Now the bucket I'm not worried about. The only supports it should need is just a little connecting bar in the middle. All right, now this one I'm going to print flat. We'll print the detailed ends facing up so it won't get all gnarly with the supports, and it's just the flat side that's going to have the support gnarliness, so it should be better. And to the printer. After a couple crappy looking prints, I got one that's decent. The support area needs a little sanding work, but should be fine. The other ones were having support issues, so I tried some things. This one was printed straight like this. I lowered the clearance between the support and print, and they pretty much fused together. This one I printed at an angle, but it ended up looking like it was chewed by something. That's when I realized there was a setting for support roof that was checked off in Cura. This was causing a diamond hatch pattern to form between the supports and the print. On smaller prints like this, it's a nightmare for some reason. Now when breaking the bend for the first time, make sure to take it slow. You don't want to break the thin plastic that's around the pin, but after one full movement back and forth, it'll move freely. Now this is the old crane. See how it doesn't hold itself up anymore? It just kind of flops around. And this is the new one. Even fully extended it holds up. Alright, we're just going to do a little bit of post-processing. Now let's check out that bucket. Perfection. Now, drum roll to see if it fits. Beautiful. Snapped into place without too much force and rotates freely. Let's rebuild this truck to see if everything fits. It's not going to stop amazing me that things still work after I'm done with them, and this is definitely no exception. The bucket even fits when it's folded down. Considering I had to go buy pictures, that's pretty awesome. Well, I think that speaks for itself. The arm even holds up with the bucket attached. Excellent. Now it should, but I'm just going to try the bucket and see if it fits in the old crane. Perfect. Now if anyone's just missing the bucket, all you need to do is print one. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like if you didn't. Feel free to leave a comment about a 3D build you would like to see done on the channel. Anyone who wants to print the items from the channel and more, head over to our official Thingiverse page, Diecast R3D. There will be a link in the description below. Also, make sure to subscribe to our other channel, XMC Racing, and hit the bell icon. There will be a video going up soon to officially start our journey of building a mountain. It's gonna be ridiculous. But have a good weekend, everyone. And see you in the next one.